Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shani. If you're new here, welcome. And to my regular watchers, I always appreciate you. On the menu today, I'm going to be showing you how I make this delicious Jamaican Easter bun. Let's get started. You're going to absolutely love it. Alright, so here are all my ingredients. They're quite a bit, but they're all easy to find. We have some Malta, some browning, vanilla, some rose water. Here I have some mixed cherries, some mixed peel, some raisins. I also have some butter. I have 1 lemon. You can also use lime. I have an egg, some orange marmalade. I have all my spices as well as my baking powder, and I have my sugar. Here I have my honey, and I have my molasses, and of course the flour. We definitely need that. So into a pot, I'm going to go ahead and pour in the Malta, and you can also use a bottle of Guinness stout, but I'm choosing to use the Malta today. Next, I'll add in the sugar, and this is just to dissolve the sugar granules and to get everything incorporated. So go ahead and pour in your honey next, and just use something to help you get it out from its container. Next, I'll go ahead and add in my molasses. If you don't have molasses, you can go ahead and leave it out because we basically need a tiny amount, just a tablespoon, and you don't need to buy a whole bottle if you don't normally bake with molasses. So next, I'll go ahead and add in my butter, and we're going to go ahead and set this on the stove. So this is the molasses. If you've never seen it before and you want to try to look for it in the store, this is the bottle of the one that I'm using. So now we're going to go ahead and add in our butter, and we're going to get that onto the stove, and just to warm it through. We're not looking to let this come to a bubble. Alright, so I'll just stir this gently, and the sugar does not take any time to dissolve, and you need to let it cool completely before using it. Alright, so I've poured my malt mixture into this container so that it cools quickly, so I'll just go ahead and set that aside. We'll add the other ingredients to it in a little while. So next, we're going to go ahead and just sift our flour. You want to just go ahead and sift your flour. It helps to lighten the flour and aerate it. Next, we'll go ahead and put in our spices. So in here, I have some mace, I have some cinnamon, some ginger, some cloves, some salt, some baking powder. So I'll go ahead and get this in, and we'll go ahead and sift it through as well. And this just helps to distribute the spices all throughout. Also, I'll go ahead and add some freshly grated nutmeg. So the outer part of the nutmeg there is the mace, and that's what I've used in the powdered form in there. So if you haven't tried mace before, you can go ahead and give it a try. They sell it in the powdered form, and it's not too hard to find. So just go ahead and grate in a nice generous amount of nutmeg if you have it. Fresh is always best. Alright, so just go ahead and sift your dry ingredients nicely until you don't have any lumps in your flour. So that will help for a smooth mixture. So here we are. So now I'm going to just go ahead and just whisk this through, because obviously I want to mix in all of the spices, and you don't want salt somewhere, spices somewhere. You want it completely mixed through. So here are my raisins. I did soak these for just a few minutes in a little bit of water just to soften them up, but you can soak some in the Malta or the Guinness if you're using it. So just go ahead and get that in. I like to mix those in with the flour so that they don't sink to the bottom of the bun, because I'm not using them blended. So just go ahead and just get all of them covered completely in the flour. Okay, so here I'm completely satisfied with my malt, that it's cooled enough, so I'm adding in the marmalade. And now you can use any jam of your choice. You can use some guava, some strawberry, just any jam. I've added in 1 teaspoon of the rose water, and I'm going to go ahead and add in 2 teaspoons of the vanilla. Next, I'll go ahead and just zest in the lemon, and you want to make sure you're only getting the yellow part. You can also use a lime. You don't want any of the white part because that is quite bitter. So now I'll just squeeze in half of the juice in here, and that just helps to balance out the sweetness and just bring home a nice flavor to this bun. We'll go ahead and whisk in our egg. We want to make sure we whisk that out properly, and then we're going to go ahead and get the wet incorporated with the dry. Alright, so go ahead and just get your malt mixture in with your flour, and you're just going to mix until it's all combined. So if you're watching this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. I would really appreciate it. So just keep mixing until all of the flour is combined with the wet. And I'm looking for at least 2 cups of mixture here. So I'm just going to go ahead, and you're not wanting a hard dough and you're not wanting it too soft. You just need a good balance. So here I'm liking the texture of this. I'll probably add just a little bit more, but I'm looking for more of a runny texture. So now I'm going to go ahead and add in the browning, and you can also, this could be optional if you like, but I like to have my bun be on the browner color. So I've just used about 1 tablespoon of the browning, but you can play with that and see how dark that you want. But bear in mind that when your bun bakes up, it'll be darker than what it looks like in the bowl. So this looks good. We're going to go ahead and get it into our bun pan. Alright, so here I'm going to be using my bun pan. This is a 12 by 4 by 3. I like this length for this type of bun. It's what I'm used to, but you can also use a traditional 9 by 4. This is quite deep and high, so the mixture will certainly fit into that. So now I'm going to go ahead and just spray this one because this is the one that I'm going to be using. So I'm using some buttered flavored spray, but you can just use some of the butter and just rub it in and get it nicely coated. You want to make sure you coat your pan nicely so that your bun will come out when it's done baking. I'll also go ahead and add in a bit of flour, and I'll just go ahead and tap that around. Make sure I'm covering all of the surface of the pan as well. And like I said, this just helps to release your bun when it's done baking. Go ahead and tap it all the way around, and then just dust out the excess flour, and then go ahead and pour in your bun in your pan. Preheat your oven to 325 degrees because I'll be baking this for about an hour, slow and low. So go ahead and get your mixture into your pan, and then you're going to go ahead and smooth it out nicely on the top. Next, you go ahead and just tap it on your surface, and this just helps to bring all of the air bubbles to the top. So go ahead and place this into your oven for 1 hour until a toothpick comes out clean. And there you have it. My beautiful bun is out of the oven, and at this point now I want to go ahead and brush some melted butter and some honey, and that's going to make it nice and shiny. That is the traditional look that it always has. So go ahead and just brush that on, and you want to do that while your bun is still hot. Look how nice and glossy that looks. Melted butter always just brings home baked goods. So we're going to set this aside and let this cool before cutting into it. After it's been cooled, you want to go ahead and give it some nice thick slices like this. Doesn't that look great? Oh, I love Easter because bun time is the best time. So this looks lovely to me. It's nicely moist. You can see the fruit studded all over it, and that just helps to make it look even more beautiful. You want to go ahead and serve this up with a nice piece of cheese or even butter. I used to like eating mine with butter. So this looks good. Thank you so much for watching. I really do hope you like the recipe and that you'll give it a try. Happy Easter, everyone.